What is up, guys? Here back in another YouTube video. In today's video, we'll be talking about days of severe weather, isolated flash flooding, and an increase in tropical development in the Atlantic Ocean. Let's get right into this video. Alright, the first thing we're going to be talking about in today's video is day one, slight risk of severe storms that we do have in effect today, which is basically the only slight risk of severe storms that we have in effect for the next few days or so. Not a too active pattern for severe weather lately, but that could change in the future. But the main thing we are going to see is an uptick in tropical development. But if we do talk about this severe weather risk, we do have a slight risk of severe weather across the panhandle of Texas and portions of southeastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas, and the panhandle of Oklahoma areas near Amarillo, Lubbock, Abilene, all over to Guamon and Lamar areas. So if you are in these areas, we could see some storms start to develop after the cap breaks in the late afternoon to evening hours across these regions here. With the main threats is going to be hail, especially hail in these regions. If we do get storms firing off, it could be big hailers, potentially above 2 inches in diameter in some spots. So definitely have your cars indoors, as some big hail could be possible today near Amarillo and Lubbock in the panhandle of Texas regions, and an isolated tornado too could be possible. It's low, but it's definitely possible, so just be weather aware just in case. Now for the flash flooding risk, we do have a slight risk of flash flooding today across Wichita Falls, Vernon, all the way over to Altus, Brownwood, and Fort Worth regions where some heavy rainfall and training of thunderstorms could be possible. So definitely be weather aware in these regions and turn around and don't drown when encountering flooded roads, especially in these regions and portions of Texas for today. And then another slight risk of flash flooding is in effect in portions of Alabama into southern Georgia, southern South Carolina, and portions of the panhandle of Florida regions, where some moisture from the Gulf of America could cause some storms today. And we already do have storms developing across portions of the panhandle of Florida right now that could cause some isolated flash flooding today across these regions if training of thunderstorms occur. This does include Pensacola, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Montgomery and Columbus regions, and Savannah and Hilton Head Island. So be weather aware in these regions as some flash flooding could be possible, and turn around and don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Now tomorrow's flash flooding risk is in a similar area to what we have today, just a little bit smaller and a little bit further to the west. This does include portions of the panhandle of Florida, southern Alabama, and central Georgia here tomorrow on the 4th of August. So definitely be weather aware some flash flooding could be possible, as a slight risk 2 out of 4 of flash flooding is in effect, which means a 15% or more of flash flooding is possible in these regions. So if you are especially down on the coast of Florida here on vacation or something, be weather aware, as these are flood prone areas that could see some flash flooding. And same thing all the way up to Macon and Enterprise regions tomorrow, because we are going to already see flooding rainfall today, and that could continue into tomorrow, which could cause even more flash flooding. And then this moves a little bit further north on day 3 on the 5th of July, which is really confined here in portions of central and northern Georgia, really confined into the metro of Atlanta and Macon areas. So if you are in these regions, do be well aware some flash flooding could be possible on day 3, as a slight risk of flash flooding is in effect in that area in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I also wanted to mention that the tropics are going to really start to ramp up here. We're already getting into August, and hurricane season is really going to start to ramp up now. So you will see an uptick in tropical videos across the channel and less severe weather. But the first thing, we already have this 50% chance of tropical development here, really off the coast, kind of close to North Carolina, but it's not looking to really impact anywhere in the U.S. It's probably just going to move towards the northeast and become a fish storm. If it does develop, there's a 50% chance of tropical development right now, and it does look pretty good right there. I mean, it looks like it could definitely develop. There's definitely a pretty favorable area of tropical development right there, but over in these regions there's not much favorability for tropical development. So if it does develop, it would have to develop now, because if it doesn't develop now, then it probably won't develop anytime soon, as conditions will start to become unfavorable by later in the day tomorrow. So if we do see a tropical depression or storm with this, it will be weak and short-lived here, but just I wanted to mention that as that rolls across and only really impacts the fish. So, and then another thing I wanted to mention is this 30% chance of tropical development that we do have over here, which is really off the coast of Africa currently. The risk of tropical development is right here. This is a 30% chance of tropical development. It is currently right here, right off the coast of Africa, and it's going to be moving into this region. This is a really, really big cone of uncertainty for tropical development right here, but a lot of the models are hinting that this thing could develop in a system. Now, this is definitely going in the general direction towards the U.S. Now, that doesn't mean this is going to impact the U.S., but we definitely have to keep an eye on it. A lot of the models are saying this is what it's going to do. It's going to take a track and basically just stay as a fish storm and miss landfall in any places whatsoever. But it could definitely change, and we are definitely watching this. Now, this is not anywhere close to developing right now, but it's got plenty of time in the ocean waters to develop. So I definitely do think that this storm could develop in the future, and this is why we should definitely be well aware for this chance of tropical development from this tropical disturbance right now, with a 30% chance of tropical development for day 7. Alright, the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the temperatures across the U.S. And currently we are going to be seeing a lot of relief this weekend into the start of next week across a lot of the central U.S. But this will change as we're going to be seeing more above average temperatures start from the 6 to 10 day outlook 6 days from now. This is basically from 6 to 10 days, and we're going to be seeing basically the entire U.S. in above average temperatures across portions of the central, northern U.S., with the main bullseye of above average temperatures definitely in portions of New York, Michigan, and Wisconsin areas near the Great Lakes regions, and another bullseye for above average temperatures in portions of New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, basically the entire U.S. except for portions of Montana and Wyoming, seeing above average temperatures here in the western U.S., central U.S., and northern U.S. regions here. So we're going to be seeing more of that summer heat start to head back. So we're not done with the summer heat yet. I know for people in the central and midwestern U.S., it's been a lot of relief, but it's definitely going to come back. The heat's going to be back into the 90s and at some point, and will continue even in the 8 to 14 day outlook with some more above average temperatures with this here. I hope everybody did enjoy today's video. Basically, right now we're seeing a little bit of severe weather, but not too much severe weather. Just a little bit in importance of the Texas Panhandle and an isolated amount of flash flooding, more confined in portions of Texas and the southeastern U.S. near Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina regions from that tropical moisture. But the main thing that we will be seeing is an uptick in tropical development, especially in the Atlantic Ocean, that could pose a threat towards the U.S. in the future. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and bye, everybody.